Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I use Google Sheets to do my weekly planning. So here is this upcoming weekly plans that I have, and you can see in the top left corner I have the unit name animals, and then the week of school. We are in week 37. And then the way I have my plans divided is up at the very top I have the different time slots that each activity occurs daily. So our morning routines, that also include shared reading. The D3R1 stands for Daily 3 Rotation 1. And you'll notice here there's nothing written in many of these slots because this is the time that I'm working with small groups. So I do have plans for those small groups, but I do not pre-plan any major teaching points because what I do in my groups, basically my plans are derived based on what is happening in the group. So kind of as I see their needs, and I see what we need to work on, I will actually just write those out. So those stay in a sheet. I have a binder, it's my literacy binder where I take all my notes, and those plans are handwritten and they're changing kind of just authentically as what I'm seeing happening in the classroom with my students. So I don't type them up here because I know I'm working with a small group or I'm working one-on-one with students. And then here reading mini lesson, so on and so forth. So in general, my weekly plans are very bare and basic. What I have are just sort of prompts to let me remember that, oh, we're working on this at that time, but I don't usually have anything detailed in my weekly plans. I do have detailed plans, but this is not where I keep them. One feature that I really like is that I've broken them into the different days of the school week down here. So this kind of changes, well, the format stays the same, but what changes is what might be written in here. So we can see Monday, we have no reading mini lesson because of our flag assembly, but on Tuesday we're doing nonfiction readers pause and think, what did I just learn? So I basically have the name of the lessons within my weekly plans, but that's it. I don't have the detailed plans. And then to the left hand side, which I didn't mention, again I have the week listed here. So it's week 37. I have our essential question, which guides pretty much all of our learning and discovery that week. So what's so amazing about animals, and then our snap words. I will also put, if there's any materials that I really need to remember to get, I will add it here. If I have some kind of goal or something that I'm working on that week, I will also add it to the left hand side. So pretty much anything that I want to remember will go there. And I'll just kind of quickly show you, oh, I should mention this on my read aloud. I'll also, it's nice to have the vocabulary that you want to focus on kind of pre-planned. Since we do our read alouds at least 3 days a week, 3 to 5 days a week, they're already going to learn the words just kind of through the repeated readings. But just to have an idea of the words that I know are going to be tricky or they might need a little more help with, so that I might pre-explain it to them or do a little extra work, I use this space here to just kind of call my attention to what those words are going to be. And then you'll see that I don't repeat that. I know that those things are on that first tab for Monday, and I won't repeat it. And then, yeah, so you see basically what's changing here. We've got our reading mini lesson, that changes the name of it, the type of word work we're doing. So again, just the basic names of the lessons. So it's a very easy way to keep track, so I can look at it at a glance and I can know exactly what we're working on. Oh, you might have noticed that here on Friday, this has changed slightly because Friday is reserved for a class meeting. Because of that, I do not do a new reading mini lesson. And that's just simply because when you're adding something, you have to take something else out. So we're still working on reading, but I'm not teaching an actual new reading lesson because that time is allotted for a class meeting. And then here I have what I plan to do in our class meeting that's planned out as well. It could also go right here, but this is just where I've been putting it. And then just to emphasize the fact that you could do more detailed lessons within this format, but because these are in cells, your space is more limited. For me, it can get a little overwhelming, so you really need to do just what makes sense for you. But obviously you need a place where you're getting your detailed plans. I'm not going to really go into how we do our detailed plans. I say our because I work with a team of teachers at our grade level, but basically my detailed plans are in a teaching resource, and that could be something that I'm using that is like a teacher edition or something I've created or something we've created as a team. This particular unit we did create as a team, so I'll just kind of briefly show you. So my detailed lessons are going to be in a document that includes very detailed lessons for both reading and writing. And then we also have our whole unit plans, which does not hold the specific details of each lesson, but again, this holds more of the teaching points and focus for each week. And then I take that, and that's where I will add it to my own weekly plans, just because for me that's easier to read. But it is helpful to have a place where you can see your weekly plans at a glance, something that's easy to see. And because math in here and the word work is kind of separated from the literacy part, that is why I've created a separate place for my weekly plans. And then of course somewhere you need detailed plans because you need to know obviously exactly what you're working on. So that basically sums up what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you find this helpful. Maybe you can begin using Google Sheets for your planning, or maybe you're already using Google Sheets. If so, I'd love to hear how you are incorporating it into your own teaching.